The ocean stretched endlessly, dark and silent, hiding mysteries that even the most advanced human explorers had yet to uncover. The planet was called Thalassa 9, a world covered mostly by water, with deep trenches that reached farther than any Earth submarine could survive. For decades, humans had sent probes, submersibles, and divers to explore the planet's depths. Some searches returned nothing but silence. Others sent back strange readings that puzzled scientists for years. On one calm morning, the human team known as the Deep Horizon set out to explore a trench unlike any other. Its walls were jagged, coated with strange, glowing algae, and it descended into darkness so deep that even their advanced lights barely touched the bottom. Captain Mira Hayes, a seasoned explorer with years of experience, led the team. With her were two engineers, Rico and Lena, and a young marine historian named Tarek. "This trench has readings we've never seen before," Rico said, as he adjusted the sensors on their dive suit. "Whatever is down there, it's old. Very old." "Old can mean dangerous," Lena replied, checking the oxygen levels. "I just hope we aren't waking something we shouldn't." Tarek, holding a small scanner that recorded historical artifacts, smiled faintly. "I hope we find history instead. Maybe even something from Earth's past missions. Captain Halvorsen disappeared near here decades ago. You know, people still talk about him." Mira glanced at Tarek, raising an eyebrow. "Do you believe in ghost stories, Tarek?" "I don't know," Tarek said. "But sometimes legends have truth in them." The team descended further, and the water around them thickened. Strange creatures with bioluminescent bodies floated lazily, their light creating patterns on the trench walls. It was beautiful, mesmerizing, and dangerous all at once. After what felt like hours, the scanners beeped in unison. Something massive lay ahead. It was a shape, large and strange, resting at the bottom of the trench. The Deep Horizon team froze. "Is that a ship?" Lena whispered. "Looks human, but not exactly," Rico said, staring at the outline. Its edges were smooth, with faint traces of metal that gleamed despite decades underwater. The hull was covered in strange symbols, half familiar, half alien. It was unlike any design humans had ever built. Mira signaled for them to approach. The divers moved closer, the eerie glow from nearby creatures reflecting off the wreck. As they neared, the ship seemed to shift, just slightly, almost imperceptibly. "I swear it moved," Tarek said, his voice tight with awe. "It's reacting." "Impossible," Rico said, though his voice held doubt. "It's a wreck. It's been down here for centuries. It shouldn't move." Tarek stepped closer to the hull, scanning the surface. "Look at this. Markings. They aren't just random. Some look like navigation codes, others like messages. Or warnings," Lena said softly, her eyes scanning the darkness around them. "Be careful. We don't know what this is." Mira nodded. "We proceed slowly. Check for life signs, but no unnecessary contact yet." The divers activated their scanners, sending pulses through the hull. Data returned slowly, revealing fragments of logs, systems, and compartments still intact. It was extraordinary. Nothing human technology should survive this long. "Captain Halvorsen," Tarek whispered, almost as if speaking aloud made a difference. This might be his ship. The moment he said the name, the wreck shifted again. This time more clearly. A section of the hull rotated, opening a small hatch. Water rushed slightly through the opening, but the divers held steady, shocked. "Did it open by itself?" Lena asked. Her voice trembled with disbelief. "It's responding to him," Tarek mentioned Halvorsen, Rico said, staring at the moving wreck. "It's like it remembers him, or recognizes the name." Mira's mind raced. She had led expeditions to dangerous places before, but nothing like this. This ship was alive in some way, not with flesh or blood, but with memory, intelligence, or something entirely beyond human understanding. "Let's approach cautiously," she said, pointing toward the hatch. "We can't turn back now." As they moved closer, the wreck's lights flickered faintly. Strange symbols glowed, illuminating patterns across the hull. It was like the ship was waking from a long sleep. Inside the hatch, a narrow corridor stretched before them, rusted yet stable. The divers entered, careful not to disturb the fragile environment. Their lights danced across control panels, buttons, and screens that hadn't seen a hand in decades. And yet, some panels blinked faintly, almost as if testing their presence. "This is incredible," Tarek said. He ran his hand along a console. "It's like the ship has memory. Look at this. These are navigation logs, but they're partially encrypted. Something preserved it." Suddenly, a low hum filled the corridor. The divers froze. The hum grew louder, resonating through the hull, vibrating through their suits. The ship's lights brightened and dimmed in rhythm. "Stay calm," Mira said, though her own voice shook slightly. "It's reacting to us." Rico frowned, checking his instruments. "I don't like this. What if it's dangerous? We don't know what will happen if we go deeper." "You think the captain would have left a trap?" Lena asked. Tarek shook his head. "I don't think it's a trap. I think it's recognition. The ship responds to human courage, to knowledge, to history. It recognizes those who respect it." Mira took a deep breath, then nodded. "We proceed. Slowly. We document everything. And we don't touch anything we don't understand." As they moved deeper into the ship, they found compartments with preserved items, tools, logs, and even personal effects. A small journal floated in the water, preserved in a sealed container. Tarek carefully retrieved it. "Captain Halvorson," he murmured. "This is him. His handwriting. His notes. It's like we're stepping into the past." The deeper they explored, the more the ship seemed to guide them. Doors that were blocked opened when they approached. Sections of the corridor shifted slightly, creating paths that seemed deliberate. It was as if the ship wanted them to see certain areas, to uncover secrets meant only for those worthy. Hours passed. The divers felt both awe and unease. The ship was not merely a relic. It was a witness to history, a guardian of knowledge, and somewhere deep in its memory lay the story of Captain Halvorson, of bravery, exploration, and sacrifice. Finally, they reached the control room. Massive panels lined the walls, and a central console glowed softly. Data flickered across the screens, almost like it was alive. The divers approached cautiously. Tarek touched one of the panels, and instantly, images filled the screens, the ship in action, the crew at work, and Captain Halvorson giving orders. His voice echoed faintly, preserved in the ship's memory. "He's real," Lena whispered. "He existed. And this ship, it remembers him." The realization hit them all. This was no ordinary wreck. It was a sentinel, waiting for those who could understand, for those brave enough to explore, and for those worthy of learning its secrets. As the divers prepared to leave the control room and continue their exploration, a final movement occurred. The ship shifted again, slowly, deliberately. It was almost as if it had acknowledged their presence, their courage, and their respect. "We are not alone down here," Mira said softly, looking at her team. "Not in the way we thought. This ship, it's alive in its own way, and it chose to wake for us." The divers exchanged glances, a mix of fear and excitement in their eyes. They had uncovered a piece of history, yes, but also something far greater. A connection between human courage and the mysteries of the universe. And somewhere, deep within the trench, the wreck waited. Patient. Silent. Watching. It had begun to stir, and it would not rest again. The divers of the deep horizon had never felt such a mixture of awe and fear. The wreck's movement had been subtle, yet deliberate, almost like a living memory stretching across decades. Captain Mira Hayes could feel it in her chest, the thrill of discovery combined with a sense of respect. They had touched history, and history had touched back. "Look at this." Tarek whispered, holding the preserved journal closer to his suit light. The pages were brittle, yet remarkably intact, the ink dark against the aged paper. Halvorsen documented everything, every mission, every route, every anomaly. It's incredible that this survived here for so long. Rico, scanning the hull with his equipment, frowned. It's not just the journal. Look at these control panels. They're active, partially, and some sections are moving doors, compartments, almost like it's inviting us forward. Mira moved toward the central console. The lights from the wreck reflected across the water, casting strange patterns on the walls. We proceed carefully. Remember, this ship survived decades in the trench. If it reacts to us, it might be testing our intentions. The divers advanced deeper into the wreck. Every corridor seemed familiar, yet alien. Some panels bore markings that resembled Earth's alphabets, while others were completely undecipherable. Occasionally, a soft hum would resonate through the hull, vibrating through their suits and filling the silence of the deep. As they approached a chamber labeled Operations, a sudden shift occurred. A panel slid open, revealing a small compartment that contained what looked like a preserved navigation orb. The orb glowed faintly, pulsating with energy that seemed almost alive. "Is that power?" Lena asked, her voice barely audible through the suit comms. Rico checked the sensors. "It's not like anything I've seen. It's not just energy. It's information. The ship is storing knowledge in this orb, and somehow, it's alive." Tarek reached out. "Careful not to touch directly. I think the ship is sharing it. It responds to human presence, to curiosity, and maybe even to courage." Mira studied the orb, her mind racing. "Courage or respect for history," she said softly. "That might be the key. It's responding to those who honor the past, not just those who seek treasure." The divers paused as a low, rhythmic hum filled the room. The orb brightened, sending light beams across the walls. Patterns emerged, maps, coordinates, and symbols that no human had deciphered before. The ship seemed to communicate without words, sharing knowledge through light and vibration. "This is beyond anything humanity has ever encountered," Tarek said, eyes wide. "It's teaching us, showing us what it knows." Suddenly, the hum changed tone, growing deeper, more insistent. The hull beneath them trembled slightly. The divers instinctively grabbed onto railings, staring at the walls as sections of the corridor shifted. What had seemed solid moments ago now moved, opening pathways that had been blocked. "Careful," Mira warned. "It's guiding us, but we don't know why." The team followed the moving corridors, guided by instinct, curiosity, and a sense of trust in the ship's memory. They reached a chamber filled with stasis pods, each containing a figure preserved in suspended animation. Human forms, humanoid aliens, and hybrids were among them. Tarek's voice was barely audible. These are explorers. Like us. Halvorsen's crew, perhaps. Or others who came before. The ship preserved them. Maybe it's waiting for someone to continue their mission." Lena studied the pods. "This ship is more than a vessel. It's a library, a guardian, a teacher, and maybe a protector." A sudden flash of light made them turn. One of the pods opened slowly, revealing a holographic image of Captain Halvorsen himself. His voice, preserved digitally, filled the chamber. "Whoever finds this," he said, calm yet commanding, "know that this ship carries the legacy of courage, knowledge, and unity. Protect it. Learn from it. Let it guide you, as it guided us." The divers froze, overwhelmed by the presence of the long-lost captain. It was as if time had folded upon itself, and for a moment, they stood in the same room with a hero from the past. Tarek stepped closer, his hand trembling. "It recognizes him, and now it recognizes us. We are here for the same reason. To learn, to explore, to continue the mission." The ship reacted again. Lights shifted, panels opened, and a series of mechanical arms extended from hidden compartments. They revealed tools, devices, and artifacts that had never been seen before. Each item seemed perfectly preserved, as if waiting for someone worthy to discover them. Mira moved to inspect one of the devices. These are advanced tools, alien in design, yet compatible with human use. Whoever built this, they understood us. And now, we can understand them. Hours passed, but for the divers, it felt like minutes. The ship guided them to every chamber, every artifact, every record it had preserved. They learned of missions that spanned light years, of collaborations between humans and alien civilizations, of sacrifices made for exploration and peace. As they worked, the divers began to understand the deeper purpose of the ship. It was not just a relic. It was a test. It sought out those who were brave, curious, and respectful. It judged character, not strength, intellect, not force. And in them, it found what it sought. Suddenly, a warning signal blared. The divers froze, scanning the chamber. On the external monitors, a shadow moved across the trench. Aliens? Lena whispered, tension rising. Are we being watched? Rico's eyes narrowed. It's not friendly. They've been tracking this wreck, probably waiting for someone to trigger its systems. And now, it's us. Mira made a quick decision. We stay calm. We continue learning. But we don't confront them directly. The ship will help us if we respect it. And we will respect it. The hum shifted again. The corridors moved, creating barriers that hid them from external detection. The ship's intelligence was alive, protective, and aware of the danger outside. It was teaching them again not just knowledge, but strategy. Tarek approached the stasis pods once more. This ship, it preserves the past, guides the present, and protects the future. We are part of that future now. We have to be careful, but we also have to learn everything we can. The divers continued their exploration, documenting every detail, scanning every artifact, and recording every log. The wreck was a treasure trove of history and technology, far beyond anything humanity had imagined. Hours turned into what felt like days, yet their suits allowed them to endure. The deeper they went, the more they realized the ship's intelligence was not limited to defense. It was interactive, almost sentient. It responded to questions, guided hands, and opened compartments only when the divers approached with purpose. At one point, Tarek asked aloud, "What made Halvorsen so special? Why does the ship respond to him?" Quote, the ship's lights shifted, focusing on a panel that displayed a series of holographic records. The divers watched as Halvorsen's choices, his courage, his care for his crew, and his decisions in the face of impossible odds were laid bare. Every action had been recorded, every choice preserved. The ship judged not by fame or power, but by character and honor. Mira spoke softly, almost to herself. That's why it reacts to us. It sees our intentions. It sees our courage and respect. That's what matters. The hum grew louder, almost in approval. The corridors shifted once more, opening a path to a massive chamber at the center of the wreck. At its heart lay a command module, untouched by time, glowing with power. This was the control room, the source of the ship's intelligence, and perhaps the gateway to its greatest secrets. The divers approached carefully, aware that they were standing at the threshold of knowledge humanity had never possessed. Tarek reached out, ready to activate the controls. But Mira held him back. "Wait," she said. "We don't just touch. We learn. We understand. The ship will respond when we are ready." A moment of silence passed. Then, as if acknowledging their respect, the control panel lit up fully. Data streams filled the room. Projections of past missions, alien technologies, and star maps. The ship had opened itself to them completely, offering knowledge to those who had earned it. This is incredible," Tarek said, voice trembling. We have access to centuries of exploration, technology, and history. Humanity can learn so much from this. Lena looked around, awe in her eyes. And the ship? It's not just giving, it's testing, protecting, guiding. It chose us because we respected it. Because we were brave and curious. Mira nodded. Yes, and we will honor that trust. Whatever we learn here, we use wisely. We continue the legacy of Halvorsen and everyone who came before him. Outside the wreck, in the endless darkness of the trench, shadows moved. Observers, alien and unknown, had come to see what humans had discovered. But the ship remained vigilant, shifting its hull subtly to hide and protect the divers. It had chosen its successors, and nothing would threaten that legacy. Hours later, as the divers prepared to ascend, they took one last look at the ship. Its hum had softened, its lights glowing gently. It had awakened fully, but it also knew that the humans who had discovered it were worthy of its secrets. Tarek held the journal tightly, filled with both human and alien knowledge. We've only just begun, he said quietly. Mira nodded, her gaze fixed on the glow of the wreck. The past has guided us. The ship has chosen us. And the future is ours to explore. With careful precision, the divers began their ascent, leaving the trench but carrying the legacy of courage, knowledge, and respect. The wreck shifted subtly, as if bidding farewell. But in truth, it knew they would return. The bond between humanity and history, between the living and memory, had been forged in the dark depths of Thalassa 9, and somewhere, deep in the trench, the ship waited patiently, ready to awaken again when worthy explorers returned. The Deep Horizon divers had returned to the wreck with a sense of purpose. They were no longer merely explorers. They were the chosen witnesses of a legacy that stretched across decades. Yet the sense of awe was accompanied by an unshakable tension. Unknown forces watched them, and the trench was not as empty as it seemed. Captain, Rico said as they prepared to descend once more, we've detected movement outside the trench, something large, not like the creatures we've seen. Mira studied the readings carefully. Alien activity, she murmured. Someone or something has been observing the wreck. They're waiting for us. Tarek, scanning the journal once more, frowned. Do you think they know the ship has awakened? That it's responding to humans? Probably, Mira said. And if they want it, they won't hesitate to take it by force. We have to be careful. The ship has helped us so far, but we cannot rely on it completely. The divers descended into the trench once again, the familiar glow of bioluminescent creatures lighting their path. The ship sat like a sleeping giant. Its hull partially shifted, as though it knew they were returning. Every hum, every vibration, seemed to welcome them back. Inside, the corridors were even more alive. Panels shifted as they moved, creating paths that guided them deeper into sections of the ship they had not yet explored. Tools and artifacts waited in compartments, preserved perfectly. It was clear now that the ship was a guardian, preserving knowledge for those worthy of understanding it. This way, Tarek said, pointing toward a series of illuminated symbols. The ship is showing us something new, something important. As they advanced, the hum of the wreck grew louder, resonating through the water and vibrating through their suits. The corridors shifted subtly, opening doors that had been sealed for centuries. The divers could feel that the ship was aware of them, aware of their intentions, aware of the danger outside. Suddenly, Rico froze. "Movement outside!" he shouted. His sensors had detected a massive shadow approaching the trench. Lena's voice was tense. "They're coming closer. Whatever they are, they're not here to observe. They want the ship." Mira took a deep breath. "We don't fight them outside. We use the ship. It has guided us this far. It will protect us if we remain calm and clever." The divers moved toward a central chamber, the main control room glowing with faint energy. Panels flickered with data streams, displaying star maps, mission logs, and alien technology schematics. The ship had opened its heart to them, sharing knowledge that could elevate humanity for decades. Outside, the alien forces' sleek, predatory beings with technology that blended seamlessly with the trench environment approached cautiously. They had been observing the humans' first exploration, waiting for the moment to strike. But the ship anticipated their movement. Doors shifted, blocking direct access to key areas, while some corridors moved to redirect the humans safely. Inside, Tarek was already deciphering a console that displayed alien communication logs. "These beings," he whispered. "They've been following the wreck for years. They want the ship for themselves. But the ship, it recognizes humans. It's responding to us. Not them," Mira nodded, her hand steady on the control panel. "Then we make use of that. The ship is alive in its own way. It will guide us if we stay focused, calm, and clever." As they navigated deeper, mechanical sections shifted around them. Walls rotated, revealing hidden passages. Traps and obstacles designed to protect the ship's secrets appeared. But the ship guided them with subtle movements and light indicators. Every choice they made, every action, was observed and tested by the wreck. The aliens outside began their approach, deploying devices that scanned for life signs and attempted to breach the hull. Rico noticed the interference on his sensors. "They're trying to bypass the ship's defenses." Mira's mind raced. "We cannot confront them directly. We must use the ship's intelligence. Let it respond. Follow its guidance. Trust it as we trust each other." The divers entered a vast chamber filled with advanced alien machinery, integrated seamlessly with human technology. Energy flows pulsed through conduits in complex patterns. It was a hub, a command center that could control the entire wreck. Here, the ship's intelligence was strongest, and its protective instincts most potent. Tarek studied the main console. "This is incredible. The ship can manipulate the hull, redirect currents, and even create barriers. It's protecting us. Actively. But we must act fast before the aliens adapt." Suddenly, one of the corridors shifted violently, creating a barricade between the divers and the approaching threat. The alien scanning devices triggered alarms, but their movements were slowed as the ship's mechanisms rerouted paths and sealed access points. Lena's voice was sharp. "The ship is helping us. It's defending itself, and us, at the same time." Mira's eyes scanned the chamber. "Then we follow its lead. Every path it opens, every obstacle it creates, we use to outsmart them. That is our advantage." The divers moved through the shifting corridors, guided by the ship. Every step was a puzzle. Every choice, a test of their intellect, courage, and teamwork. Tarek realized that the ship did not merely preserve knowledge. It taught strategy, critical thinking, and decision-making under pressure. Hours passed, yet it felt like minutes in the intensity of the trench. The aliens adapted, but the ship adapted faster. Panels shifted, pathways rotated, and corridors that had seemed dead ends opened strategically to lead the divers to safe zones while delaying the pursuers. Finally, they reached the heart of the wreck, a chamber containing the main control array. Here, the ship's intelligence was concentrated. Energy conduits pulsed like veins, and holographic displays projected detailed star maps, mission plans, and historical archives. Tarek approached the main console. "If we can interface with this, we can access the ship's full memory. It will reveal its greatest secrets, and maybe a way to escape the aliens." Mira nodded. "Do it. Carefully. Remember, the ship is alive. Respect its systems. We work with it, not against it." As Tarek initiated the interface, the ship responded immediately. Holographic images of Halvorson's missions appeared, showing his bravery, leadership, and sacrifice. The ship highlighted lessons in strategy, courage, and human ingenuity. The aliens outside began to breach the outer hull, their devices attempting to cut through reinforced sections. But the ship anticipated every move, shifting walls and creating diversions. Streams of water currents were redirected to push intruders away, while light and sound pulses disoriented them. Mira observed with pride. "This is humanity's strength. Courage. intelligence, teamwork. The ship responds to our character, not our weapons. That is why we survive where they fail. Rico smiled, adrenaline pumping. We are learning from history and technology at the same time. Halverson's legacy, the ship's intelligence. It's all guiding us. With precise coordination, the divers navigated a series of shifting corridors, reaching a secondary exit that the aliens could not access. Panels moved to seal the passage, and the aliens were momentarily trapped in a maze of rotating walls and water currents. Lena gasped, her suit lights reflecting off the hull. "We're free for now. The ship protected us." Mira looked back at the main chamber. "It has more secrets than we can uncover today. But we survived. We learned. And we are stronger because of it." Tarek studied the final holographic projections. "We now have knowledge that could advance humanity by decades. Star maps, technology, history, all preserved for those brave enough to respect it." The divers paused, reflecting on what had just happened. The aliens outside were powerful, but they lacked the courage, patience, and respect that humans had shown. It was not strength alone that mattered. It was intelligence, morality, and teamwork. As they prepared to leave the wreck for the surface, the ship shifted once more, subtly opening a corridor that led them safely out of the trench. The aliens retreated, frustrated by the human ability to navigate the shifting wreck with strategy and calmness. Outside, the trench stretched endlessly, dark and silent. But the humans knew the wreck was alive, waiting, and aware of their presence. It had tested them, guided them, and protected them. And in return, humanity had proven itself worthy. Mira looked at her team. "We have survived. We have learned. But this is only the beginning. The ship has more to teach. And we have more to discover." Tarek nodded, holding the preserved journal and scanning logs. "The past is guiding us. The ship is protecting us. And the future belongs to those who dare to explore and respect the legacy left behind." Rico smiled, exhaustion and excitement in equal measure. "We faced danger. We solved puzzles. We outsmarted an enemy. This is what it means to be human. Brave, clever, and honorable." Lena added softly. "The ship is alive. Yes. But it responds to life that values courage, teamwork, and morality. That's us. That's humanity." The divers ascended slowly, leaving the trench behind. The wreck remained in the dark depths, waiting, shifting, alive in its own way. It had chosen its successors, and the humans had proven themselves worthy. As the surface approached, Mira took a final look back at the trench. "We will return. We will continue to learn. And we will honor this legacy. For Halvorsen, for humanity, and for the future." The ocean swallowed the trench in darkness once more. But the bond between humans and the wreck had been forged. The ship had tested them, taught them, and protected them. Humanity had faced the challenge, and in doing so, had proven that courage, intelligence, and morality could awaken even the oldest and most powerful secrets. And somewhere deep below, the wreck waited patiently, alive, aware, and ready to guide the next worthy explorers who would venture into its depths. The Deep Horizon team surfaced after their last dive, exhausted but exhilarated. The ocean world of Thalassa 9 stretched beneath the sunless sky, waves glowing faintly from bioluminescent algae. The wreck still waited below in the trench, alive and patient. Its movements had guided them, tested them, and protected them, but now, a new chapter awaited. Captain Mira Hayes looked at her team, determination clear in her eyes. "We've learned so much already," she said, "but we cannot stop here. The ship still holds its deepest secrets, and we have been chosen to uncover them. We owe it to Halvorsen, to history, and to humanity." Rico adjusted his equipment, a mix of exhaustion and excitement on his face. "Every dive we take, it seems to respond more. It's like it understands us now. But I wonder, can we fully unlock it? Can we understand its knowledge completely? Tarek held the preserved journal tightly. If we respect it, if we continue to work together, I think we can. Halvorsen left clues. And the ship, it trusts us. It's teaching us. Step by step, Lena added quietly. We've survived traps, outsmarted alien threats, and navigated its shifting corridors. The wreck has tested us. Maybe now, we're ready for the final lessons. The team prepared for their fourth descent, a mixture of anticipation and nervous energy filling their suits. The trench yawned beneath them, dark and silent, yet alive with the hum of the ship. As they neared the wreck, the hull shifted subtly, opening a welcoming corridor. The ship seemed aware that they were returning, ready to reveal what it had guarded for centuries. Inside, the corridors moved in harmony with the divers, guiding them deeper than ever before. Every panel glowed faintly, illuminating symbols, maps, and records that had been hidden until now. The ship had prepared for this moment. It had chosen the humans capable of understanding its ultimate secrets. They reached a vast chamber at the center of the wreck. Here, energy flowed through conduits like living veins, and holographic displays projected star maps, mission logs, and schematics of advanced technology. The room pulsed with knowledge, waiting for humans who could comprehend it. Tarek approached the central console. "This is it," he whispered. "The ship's intelligence, fully concentrated. If we interface here, we can access everything it has, preserved knowledge of navigation, technology, even strategies that span civilizations." Mira nodded. "Do it carefully. We have been tested already. Respect the ship, respect its memory, and it will guide us." As Tarek activated the console, holographic images filled the chamber. They saw Halvorsen's missions in incredible detail. Every decision, every act of courage and sacrifice. But now, the ship revealed more maps of distant star systems, schematics for advanced propulsion, energy systems beyond human understanding, and strategies for peaceful exploration and defense. This is beyond anything humanity has ever known," Lena said, awe in her voice. "We can learn from this, create, explore. We can truly advance." Rico studied the projections, eyes wide. "It's not just technology, it's a philosophy, a guide. It shows how to act wisely, how to lead, how to protect life while exploring the universe. The ship preserved the best of humanity, and it wants us to continue that legacy." The hum of the ship shifted, almost as if it approved. It pulsed gently, guiding their hands to panels that unlocked more secrets. Holographic books of alien and human knowledge appeared, some of which had been lost to time, some never known to humans at all. Mira took a deep breath. "This is why the ship reacted to us before. It recognizes courage, intelligence, and morality. We've earned its trust. And now, we can take what we've learned and ensure humanity grows stronger." Outside the wreck, the alien forces had returned, watching from the shadows of the trench. But they no longer had the advantage. The ship shifted strategically, creating barriers, redirecting currents, and using its intelligence to protect the humans. Every intrusion was met with subtle yet effective resistance, ensuring the team could work safely. Rico observed the defense systems. "It's not just guiding us internally, it protects us externally too. Every challenge we faced before was a test. Now, it's ensuring we can reach the full knowledge safely." Tarek's hands moved across the console with precision, following subtle signals from the ship. "We're learning not just information, but understanding. How to think, how to adapt, how to face threats wisely. This is the essence of humanity: courage, intelligence, morality, and unity." Hours passed as the team worked. They explored every chamber, every record, every holographic archive. The ship revealed secrets of faster-than-light navigation, advanced energy sources, alien communication systems, and defensive strategies that required patience, intellect, and teamwork. Every lesson emphasized responsibility. Knowledge without wisdom was dangerous, but humanity had proven itself capable. Mira paused, looking at her team. We are not just learning technology. We are learning leadership, strategy, and the moral strength to use it wisely. That is what Halvorsen left behind. That is what this ship preserved. And that is why we survive where others would fail. The ship pulsed in response, walls shifting subtly to create a new chamber that had not been seen before. It contained a holographic projection of Halvorsen himself. Addressing the divers directly, "Those who reach this chamber," the captain said, voice steady and clear, "have proven worthy. You understand courage, intelligence, and honor. You have learned to respect history, to act wisely, and to protect life. Humanity has potential beyond imagination, and you are its torchbearers." Tarek stepped closer, eyes wide. "He's real, and the ship preserves him, guiding us through his wisdom. Every choice, every decision, it's all here for us to learn from," Lena whispered. The ship did not just protect the knowledge. It protected the people capable of using it wisely. That's why it reacted to us before, guided us, and defended us. Mira approached the central projection. "We are ready to take this knowledge back, to apply it responsibly. We will honor this legacy, advance humanity, and continue the mission Halvorsen began. The ship's wisdom is now ours, and we will not fail." The alien forces outside, once so threatening, now lingered cautiously. They recognized that the humans were not merely explorers, they were chosen successors, guided by courage, intelligence, and morality. Any attempt to seize the wreck would be met with strategies and defenses far beyond their understanding. Rico studied the holographic displays one last time. The knowledge we've gained here could elevate humanity by centuries. But the lessons are just as important as the technology. Bravery, intelligence, teamwork, morality. That is what makes humans worthy of this treasure. The divers prepared to leave the wreck, but the ship shifted once more, opening a path to the surface. Its hum was gentle now, welcoming, approving. The final lessons had been shared, the legacy secured, and the humans had proven themselves true heirs of Halvorsen's vision. As they ascended, Tarek looked back at the trench. "We've learned everything the ship has to teach for now. But it will wait for the next explorers, guiding them, testing them, and ensuring the legacy continues." Mira nodded. "And humanity will continue. We have proven ourselves brave, clever, and honorable. The future belongs to those who are willing to learn, respect, and act wisely. That is why we survive and thrive." The surface of Thalassa 9 grew closer, light from distant suns glinting off the bioluminescent waves. The divers emerged from the depths, carrying knowledge, courage, and responsibility. The wreck, alive in its own mysterious way, receded into the trench, patient and vigilant, awaiting the next worthy explorers. Lena smiled, exhaustion softening into wonder. "We survived, we learned, and we were tested. And we succeeded. The ship trusted us, and we honored that trust." Rico added. "The aliens outside thought strength and force would win. But courage, intelligence, and morality, that is what prevails. Humanity is more than physical power. We have heart and mind, and we have proven it." Tarek held the journal tightly, eyes shining. "We carry knowledge now, but also understanding. Every lesson, from Halvorsen, every secret the ship preserved, is a guide. We will use it wisely. We must." Mira looked out across the glowing ocean, the wreck deep below still stirring subtly in the darkness. "We have proven ourselves. Humanity is capable of greatness. And this is only the beginning. The future is ours to explore, guided by courage, intelligence, and honor." The Deep Horizon team returned to their base. The wreck's secrets now partly revealed, its full knowledge preserved for those who are worthy. Humanity had faced challenges, learned from history, and gained wisdom beyond imagination. And somewhere, in the dark depths of Thalassa 9, the wreck waited patiently, alive and aware, ready to awaken again when humanity or another brave explorer returned. Its legacy had been preserved. Humanity had been tested, and the future shone brightly, guided by courage, intelligence, and the enduring spirit of exploration.